Number three, sharing goals creates unity. What do you really want? What's most important to you in your marriage? What do you want to spend money in? Is it going out to dinner all the time? Is it saving up for a vacation? Is it buying a house? Is it redecorating, doing a new kitchen? Do you see what I mean? Is it buying that new truck? We had a goal last year, and it was to buy a new camper. So we started researching new campers, used campers, and we brought that together in what we wanted in the camper. Why? Because we communicated about it. We talked about it a lot. We went and saw campers together. So being honest about our spending and having those, in common sharing your goals, what's important to you. Because if it's important for your husband to drive a Lexus and it's important to you to have a house to live in, yeah, you got to talk about that. And sometimes when people rented a house, maybe their parents rented and they never owned a house, they don't even realize it's possible. Yes, if you get your money together, anything is possible. Talk to people who own houses. Find a way, make a way. Never assume you can't do. Even if you're making a little bit of money, don't assume things that you really want are out of your reach, but don't use credit cards. Don't use credit cards to do that. Set financial goals together. Make sure you're on the same page. Dream big. Dream big. Sit down and figure out what it is you really both want. Hey, and that goes back to some of my other podcasts as we're talking about the importance of spending time together and communicating and understanding one another and being open. The fourth thing is fairness in contributions. Now, this happens where one person, maybe they do pay for everything in the family, and maybe the other person's a big spender and they got to have the fancy Coach purses and the name brand shoes and the name brand jeans, and they only put fancy name brand everything in their house. Yeah. Understanding how you can spend better on your spending plan, how you can stay within that budget keeps the arguments down. But let's look at this. When one person is contributing all the money, do they get all the say? Well, some of this goes back to personality styles, where some people are controlling. Some people have to have that power of, I'll give you this much money. They have to have that power of saying everything. And actually, I would have to say that I'm not a person who looks for power, but because I was a penny pincher, it was very important to me to be able to pay my bills. And I think from fear of not having enough money, which, yeah, we only made so much and we started having a family early. Um, I was controlling, and my husband easily, because he's an easygoing personality, easily let me do that. But when you have two people who have that need to control the money for whatever reason is, you're going to butt heads, and you're going to butt heads a lot. So it's important to understand uh, that if you're bringing in all the money, that's not all that goes into running a household. So let's look at some things. When you're looking at this, who pays what? Are you going to have a partnership of 50-50, and who pays what? Well, let me go into these things. When we're looking at fairness and contributions, one person doing all the going to work, bringing in all the money. Let's look at these things. Consider childcare, the cost of childcare. Consider who's going to be cooking and shopping. Those things take time, and budgeting and figuring out menus. Figure out who does the laundry, or you're going to go and pay and have somebody else do it. Who, if you have kids and teenagers, uh, who's the taxi service? Yeah, picking up kids from school or taking them to school or taking them to football or taking them to piano lessons. Yeah, those are all things that go inside of your marriage. Who's doing the lawn? Who's responsible to paint the house and do the repairs outside? Uh, who is responsible for painting inside? I don't mind painting with my husband. That helps us spend time together. We turn on some great music and we paint together. We own rental property, and so when we've had to redo and clean those up, we go in and paint and do that together. And there goes my penny pension because I don't want to pay someone else to do it. So I go in and help do it, right? There's part of my reason is right there. But you have to learn how to divide those household chores and repairs and upkeep. And everyone wants to feel valuable. Yeah. If there's a person in the house and they're doing all that, it gets overwhelming too. And yeah, when you're at work, you get overwhelmed also. But not appreciating one another and having fairness in contributions causes resentment. Yeah, that's pretty stinky. When you start to resent somebody and then that grows and grows and grows, they start seeing everything they don't like about their marriage. So, fairness and contributions. Very important to talk about that.